Paul Suggs, kind enough to spend a few minutes.
Thanks for having me, man.
It is what it is.
People are always telling me to go on this show.
Good to be on. How you guys doing?
Live on the Vault right now.
Hey, guys, we're on vacation.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
When you hit me up, I said, you know what, why not?
I like to see Joe do good. That's my quarterback.
Nate Wiggins is
Great to be on.
I respect your knowledge about the team.
welcome into the Vault, Ian.
How y'all doing?
All right, say hi, Bobby. Y'all be well.
Always good to be on with you guys.
I'm excited that you got my name right. Pronunciation was good right there.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And with that, welcome inside the Vault and a welcome back to my co-host and partner and Africa Safari's finest, Sarah Ellison, back from Rwanda and Kenya, and most importantly, a belated 50th birthday celebration for your husband, Trevor, and some awesome family time. It's great to see you.
Oh, man, it's so good to be back. It's so good to be back. I feel like there's a lot of Ravens news. I mean, injury scares, but I'm glad now that I'm here. Now that I'm here, I'm seeing these injury scares. Those guys are coming back. So I just feel like maybe there's a correlation there. But Bobby, we had a blast. It was an awesome family vacation, an adventure of a lifetime. I still can't believe it actually happened. It feels like a dream at this point. But I just want to thank you for holding down the fort and following all this, the dog days of training camp, the grind that it is. It's a lot to do, so I appreciate you giving me the time off and holding down the fort while I was gone.
Of course, you're not going to get out of here without a full synopsis, too. We're going to get the rundown. As you know, towards the end of the show, you're going to share some content with us, and we'll dig in, probably all ask some questions. I know I have plenty. We talked just briefly in our pre-show call, and we're going to have plenty more coming up on the back end of the program. So if those of you are interested in hearing what the Ellison family's been up to the last couple of weeks, you already know. And that's going to be coming up a little bit later on. But to your point, there really was no shortage of information, as we know this time of year. Both Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey went down with scares. Now, Marlon's, that's a little bit misleading. He actually didn't go down. We don't know what happened with him. He left practice last week early he was flanked essentially by medical and training staff. Both he and Nate Wiggins, whereas Nate's was obviously much more severe, leaving in a cart. Both of those guys are back to practice today. So a welcome back indeed to you and to them. There were a number of established starters, including Lamar, who did not play in the first of 3 preseason games on Saturday. And Lamar, in his interview with Evan Washburn, basically confirmed what I think we probably already knew, but Jesse Minter hadn't shared it yet, and he will not play in the preseason at all, assuming that he's telling the truth in that interview this past Saturday. By the way, Teddy Buchanan, he was activated from the PUP list on Friday. He is back at practice. So it's a great way to start off the 4th week of training camp. It's great to have you back. While we're on the topic of attendance, the absences, according to the beat reporter community for today, Rasheen Ali, CJ Okoye, we saw Jay Higgins go down with a concussion, leaving Saturday's game. Last year's undrafted rookie out of Iowa who made the 53. Carl Jones Jr. has been banged up for over a week now. Robert Longerbeam's a new name. Amani Orurie and Jaquez Robinson are today's absences. So that's kind of where things stand right now. It'll be one of those days, Sarah, where you and I are darting back and forth from our second screens to keep everybody updated, being that practice is literally underway as we speak. But I figured you might be pleased to know that since you left, a guy named Jacoby Lane has burst onto the scene. He picked up where he left off on Saturday night, and where you left off, I don't even know, because while he was having a solid start at the beginning of your vacation in Africa, he's since went nuclear.
Here's what's funny is I really try to be present in Africa, and I only checked in on sports every once in a while. There are a few things that made their way to me. Zay Flowers getting his extension, well-deserved Zay. We had been predicting that for well over a year. These injury scares made their way to me, but they're all back. And by the way, Teddy Buchanan, my goodness, the speed at which he returned, Bobby, is insane. And let me just tell you, the competition is on. Trent Simpson, you know, this was his moment to, like, he's had a couple weeks in training camp to say, hey, I know that Teddy won over the starting role last year, but I'm here to compete. You'll have to tell me whether or not he competed enough to like push off now that Teddy Buchanan, now that he's back, but it's a full month until the season starts. So maybe Teddy could push his way back in. Maybe there'll be a rotation. I don't know. But that made it in. That made it
This
to me.
was December, by the way.
December.
For our live audience, audio only, we're looking at Teddy being carted off the field December 14th, I think it was, in Cincinnati. He just returned to practice within the last hour.
It's unreal. So I'm not putting any caps on him and the fact that he could still be the week 1 starter, and maybe they'll more go the route of rotations or whatever. But like the competition is on. Trenton Simpson, Teddy Buchanan, let's go. The last thing that made it through to me, Bobby, while in Africa is your point, Jacoby Lane. I mean, it seemed like anytime I checked in, my algorithm was like flashing the next greatest catch from Jacoby Lane. And it's just like, all right, okay, Jacoby, because when I left, he was already starting off strong, but I said, like, he's got to consistently be able to make a play every single day, make a play. Then I fly back home Saturday night in the middle of that preseason game. I land. What do I see? Him in a touchdown pass. And it's not just that pass. It was just him reeling in several catches. And what you have here, just a warm-up. He's just fun to watch. Like, sure, let me take a pass from my left hand one-handed. Let me take a pass from my right hand one-handed, and I'll throw it back with just like he just has it. I mean, people talk about how he doesn't have separation. That's true. But when you have the catching ability that he has to go up and get these 50-50 balls and have the radius that he has, and he's clearly been gaining the trust of Lamar Jackson this entire time, it's like throw the separation out of the window when he can make the catches that he's been making.
You earned the trust of undrafted rookie free agent quarterback Joe Finiano, by the way. He got a lot of run on Saturday night, and Joe delivered the game's first touchdown to Jacoby, one of 22 completions for Finiano. So well done for him. And as far as receiving is concerned, Jacoby finished with 3 catches, 38 yards, that touchdown that I just referenced. Here he is, all gratitude after the game.
God enough. It's such a blessing, and I can't stress enough to all the young kids out there that this is nothing but hard work, dedication, and consistency. And I think it's very easy to say that, but when you're in there day in and day out as a young guy or young woman, I think it's one thing to really consider how you want to be in life. And I think it's just you want to be a product of what you put in. And I think that's what I want to be.
Soft-spoken so far during his various media sessions, Sarah. Anything but in terms of what he's done on the practice field, which has someone who was not exactly soft-spoken during his day speaking glowingly of him and making a pretty bold prediction. Ocho Cinco.
That goddamn Jacoby Lane, boy.
Yeah, he look good.
Boy, he finna be one of them ones. He up next.
He finna be one of those ones. He's up next. Gosh darn Jacoby Lane. That from a guy that knew a thing or two about reeling in catches. And Sarah, to your point, there's a whole highlight reel worthy. Really, it's becoming a laundry list of what he's been able to accomplish so far. We've seen the catch radius. We've seen the contested catch ability. We've seen a guy in TJ Tampa who's had a solid summer get tripped up. It's just he's got this concentration ability while also the body control to bring in footballs that aren't necessarily thrown to, I mean, not every football is thrown in the breadbasket. And we've seen that. And you've also seen, courtesy of Pete Gilbert, I had that up just a second ago, part of his pregame routine with a member of the staff and Zay Flowers. And I just want to cut back to that. Look at the non-dominant hand, regardless of what hand it is. I think he's a righty, but even if he isn't, just take a look at one of these is his non-dominant hand. Okay. Yeah. And he is reeling in these footballs that are coming in with a decent level of speed. There's some zip on them, and he's just snagging them out of thin air, perhaps a teaser in not only what's going to come the next couple weeks, assuming they want to see more from him in the preseason. Who knows, Sarah? Jesse might be like, look, we've seen enough from you. We'll see you September 13th. Selfishly, hopefully he gets a couple more series this summer to get himself fully acquainted and ready to roll. It won't be with Lamar, but my goodness, it hasn't mattered this summer, Sarah, who's throwing the football to him. He's going to go get it.
And that's the thing is it's like, and you know what's also crazy is it wasn't just Jacoby who stood out. Like several of the rookie pass catchers. Yes, Jacoby had the 3 catches for 38 yards and the touchdown. But Surratt, it's really too bad that he got that ball punched out when he was trying to go for extra yardage. It's the old Zay Flowers, kind of fumble where you're trying to go for extra yards. If you're going to go for extra yards, you have to take care of the football. But besides that, he had 5 catches for 55 yards. Matt Hibner, the tight end, I know, Bobby, it sounded to me that there has been some worries about the tight end position. Maybe Mark Andrews not playing like he normally would in the regular season, but Matt Hibner reeling in several different passes. And one of them was a beauty down the sideline. Here he is talking about his sideline catch.
Awesome. You talk about getting through that first play, kind of feeling the contact and getting into the game and everything. That definitely helped me out a little bit. I kind of blacked out after the catch. Probably spent a little bit too much energy celebrating, getting hyped. But it was just great. I have no regrets on celebrating that one.
So good for him. Five catches for 61 yards. And then the 5th round tight end, Josh Cuevas, he had a catch for 11 yards. So all of them showed up, and we haven't even gotten to the 1st round pick. We're going to talk about him later in Vavenga Ioane. And so, it's preseason. We're trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves. But it's just another test that they passed. Matthew Hibner, as you have up here, the highest rookie offensive grades from PFF over the first week of preseason 1. There's Matthew Hibner, number 1 with a 92.6.
Caught everything that went his way. There's been a lot of talk outside of special teams, which is continuing to be a growing concern, which we'll address. But there had been plenty of buzz in the last couple of weeks about the quiet summer that it's been to date for the tight end position. And Hibner quieted some of that noise. 5 receptions, 61 yards, like you mentioned, 5 targets. But that 29-yard completion on the left-hand sideline that you also referenced, how about the ball placement from Snoop, the concentration from Hibner? He is an athletic player. He is very athletic. Femi talks about his RAS score all the time. Jesse knows him, not just now because he's a player that works for him, but he knew him well back way years ago. That makes no sense. Well back way years ago. He met him at Michigan before he transferred to SMU. He was on that, and he didn't play a prominent role for them. He did a little bit of everything. I think he was even a special teamer for him. And then he goes to SMU, and the Ravens clearly had their target on him. They went and traded up for him in the 4th round, and a good solid start for him. So to your point, and as Jeff tallied up, for Ravens rookie pass catchers, it was a nice evening. Jacoby Lane did his job. Elijah caught the majority of what was sent to him. 6 receptions, 66 yards, 7 targets. And the bummer is you referenced his fumble, which was lost. It was recovered by Philadelphia. He made a man miss right before. He did all the hard part. Just secure the football. And that'll be teach tape for them, I'm sure, this week, or probably they've already looked at it.
Yeah.
And so it was great to see him do what we know he's capable of doing, and that is silky smooth, crispy route running, catching the football, always open, why he's nicknamed Waffle House, and somebody's going to be competing for opportunities within an offense that has a lot of mouths to feed.
Well, and again, I do want to say, obviously, just because I've covered pass catchers for so long, I've seen a lot of guys flash in training camp or even the preseason. And so we don't want to over exaggerate how good they are yet. But as you just pulled up Chad Ochocinco, And he says about Jacoby Lane, oh, he's finna to be one of the ones. And Shannon Sharp is right there. And that's just two more guys on a long list of NFL veterans or retired players who are like, I can see it. I see it. Like it's those two guys. It's Steve Smith Sr. I got a clip coming up with him talking with Dan Orlovsky about the pass catchers coming up here in just a second. It's Des Bryant. It's Derrick Henry going crazy in practice with them. It's Lamar. It's literally everybody. So it's almost like you're trying not to get too excited, but how do you not?
Yeah.
So here's what's interesting. So on ESPN, before this preseason game, the crew on the morning show is talking about who needs to step up more, the offense or the defense. And Steve Smith starts talking about it's the defense. Dan O comes in and says it's the offense because of the pass catchers. It's about 2 minutes. I want to watch the whole thing. Just watch. It's Steve Smith, yes, talking about Jacoby Lane, but he's talking about the pass catchers in general. And he kind of puts Dan Orlovsky in his spot because he's like, I can go all day long on these pass catchers. Listen to this back and forth.
You played in Baltimore.
Sure
What's
did.
the key to winning that AFC North?
It's the black and blue division. We're talking about Lamar Jackson and his legs, and we're looking at a defense. It was ranked 30th. Yeah. The defense also allowed overall 4,200 yards of offense. Like, we're putting it all on Lamar. Like Lamar's blocking somebody. Lamar's, handled a TE stunt. Nope, he didn't. Lamar covered someone. Nope. We're putting it all on the quarterback as if we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens, and they've been known traditionally as what? Stone cold stopping defense.
Yeah.
But we're highlighting the quarterback. We need to stop giving quarterbacks all his accolades or putting all of the excuses on the reasons why the team isn't playing, and then we giving all these hall passes to all these other people who aren't doing their job.
There's a lot more questions for me about the offense, though, than there is about the defense. The defense has talent. There's a lot of talent on that defense. I think Jesse Minter is going to get them to play well. This is an offense that, one, has a brand new interior offensive line. You know this. There's going to be 3 new pieces from those 2 guards and the center. So that's question mark number 1. How good does that group become? Yeah. Number 2, and you could speak to this, is how good is this pass-catching group?
They're good.
Zay Flowers, really good player, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay, but outside of Zay, Bateman's been a little up and down, right?
Correct.
He's got to stay healthy. You're going to bank on 2 young receivers and Jacoby Lane, who they drafted in the 3rd round.
He's catching everything.
Okay, so there's promise out of him, but he's still a young player,
but
still a rook.
But the things that he lacked in getting separated, he has it in height.
Size.
He can catch the ball. Coming out of college, USC, he didn't really get off the jam as much. Mekhi Lemon was doing good, but he was not able to get off of defenders. But you throw it up, he could catch it.
So Elijah Surratt coming from Indiana.
He could play too. He's going to work hard, and then that puts some pressure on Tez Walker, who was at UNC Chapel Hill.
Right.
So he can play. You can talk about wide receivers all day. I can clip it off.
But you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pressure on those.
Ain't no pressure.
But
we're not flooding the basement, baby. We make a diamond.
But they're unproven.
They are unproven.
Right.
But you can look at the unprovenness of the Baltimore Ravens because of the lack of pass game, because of Lamar Jackson not being healthy, and also the offense just sputtering.
Sure.
And this is why the changing of helm of the head coach, because they need to get a new perspective, new set of eyes to make sure that they can move forward with all of the offensive weapons that they currently have. Keep coming, dog. I'm here for the day.
Several weapons capable.
All day.
Let's go.
You know what I got?
The home run.
I got time today.
Steve. Bobby, he clearly, Steve Smith will tell the truth. We remember back in the day when it was Greg Roman. He ripped Greg Roman. He let him have it with passing or route running concepts that he called were elementary and that his young son could do a better job. Like, he'll let you know. He was so unhappy with coaching in the past. And he just said it right there. He's like, look, we got a new helm now. Lamar Jackson's healthy now. And he's telling Dan O, you don't need to worry about these question marks at the pass catchers. To be honest, I still want him answered. I believe in Zay. But I think that it's fair for Dan to say, oh, they're unproven. But I also think it's fair for somebody like Steve Smith, who's a former wide receiver, and he has shown that he's pretty good at this analyst thing, especially when it comes to wide receivers. Like, he was pounding his chest for Zay long before Zay got this $100+ million extension, right? Like, he's been a believer in Zay for the longest time. He told the truth about Bateman there, that he's been up and down, but he stuck his chest out for Jacoby Lane and Elijah Surratt, and that holds some weight for me.
This was a great conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
Steve being back on ESPN airwaves with the merge, right? The NFL Network and all that. You're seeing a lot of these NFL Network personalities be featured into the ESPN programming because of that off-season adjustment there. So that's great for everybody. The fact that Steve's going to be on that desk, it seems to be. I don't know what his plans are for the football season, but to your point, a lot of Dan's questions there, regardless of whether it felt like to fans that it was disbelief or hatred or whatever it is, regardless, those are fair questions to be asked, and questions that we've asked, some of which we've asked throughout this past offseason, but Steve had answers for every single one of them. Whether the Ravens have answers come regular season remains to be seen, but his analysis holds major weight at the wide receiver position. And if Jacoby continues this run that he's on, not only is that good for Zay, Lamar, most importantly, in this entire offense, but he made a great point. What do you think Devontae Walker is thinking right now? If he's thinking the right thing, it's, hey, competition breeds excellence within this room. I got to show out the next 2 weeks so that I can still be included in some 3 receiver sets. And my offensive coordinator believes in me, because guess what? He was active on Saturday night. It might have been the rookie show, but Tez caught all 3 footballs that went in his direction. 3 for 31. He was targeted 3 times, 10.3 on average. So it's just the collective. I'm not talking about the show. The collective within the wide receiver room cannot get the job done this year to potentially be maybe not the most talented in Ravens history, but can it be the deepest in Ravens history? And I think it has a chance of doing that. It's still so early, so we'll pump the brakes like you wisely said at the beginning of the show. But there's reason for excitement right now, and Steve Smith Sr. thinks that there's enough reason for optimism on the national airwaves.
Yeah, and Bobby, I'll just add this. I think it's a fair question to ask. We don't have the answers yet. But I do wonder if we are currently witnessing a change in Baltimore's history at the wide receiver position. Because Ozzie Newsome was just a GOAT, both when he was a player as a tight end, but also as a GM, just an absolute GOAT. But if he had a weakness, it was the wide receiver position. And we had been predicting for some while that the Ravens may actually change their ways when it comes to paying wide receivers with Zay Flowers. Well, that came to fruition 2 weeks ago. So that's a change in Baltimore's history, that they actually drafted a guy that they felt was worth paying over $100 million to. So that's number one. So they've hit on a first round receiver, and sort of hit on like Hollywood Brown, but we know that he was traded and all that. The next question is, can the Ravens actually draft mid-round wide receivers and they develop into something that has a significant impact? And that's kind of what we're watching. Can we see simultaneously that they actually pay wide receivers in Zay Flowers and develop mid-round receivers, whether it's Jacoby Lane or Elijah Surratt or Tez Walker or some combination or all of the above? That's what I wonder. Are we going to find out in 2026 that the Ravens are turning the narrative about who they are with drafting pass catchers at the wide receiver position?
I think it's a great point, and I'll bring it back even further to kind of describe like the gradual progression this has been. Gradual as in throughout the Lamar era, taking swings 3 separate times. You already mentioned 2 of them in Marquise and Zay in the first round, add Rashad Bateman in 2021 there, right? Then came like, can we develop them? Marquise was developed, didn't want to be there. It was a Greg Roman run first offense, made it clear they did their business. You get Linderbaum because of it, and you deal him to Arizona. Rashad's been Rashad. We know his story. We know just how important of a season it's been. We've said that like 3 or 4 straight years for him. We'll see what they get out of him ahead of year 5. Zay, you already mentioned. They bucked the trend. He bucked the trend, and now he's $100+ million receiver, and he's in Baltimore for the next 6 years. What about even before then? Right before he was drafted. You go and pay Odell Beckham Jr. to really give Lamar Jackson a piece that he was asking for. And not only do you pay him, but you're willing to use void years. You and I covered that. You were all over that. Just how different of a monetary approach that was given the Ravens' past and some of their principles in place. The fact that they were willing to kick cash. What's the phrase that you always used? Kick the can down the road.
Can down the road, yeah.
The fact that they were willing to do that was unique.
The OBJ one didn't turn out the way we wanted, but to your point, it was their philosophy that it had changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, perfectly, not the end. Hopefully not the end. Hopefully the meat portion of this progression is now do you consistently hit on day 2 prospects. And that's their big opportunity to continue to push this forward as Lamar enters year 9 and as Jacoby Lane, the new shiny whistle and toy that Lamar has at his disposal, says things like this, subtly, I might add, in his post-game press conference. We're going to get to the next topic and a ton of super chats, including some gifts that just dropped in a second. But listen to this, Sarah, after scoring that touchdown on Saturday night.
Definitely just an in-cut. Try and press space, come out looking for the ball, and from there just get in the end zone. So I think I've done it a bunch of times during training camp, OTAs, and I think that just goes to show that it is no different on game day.
I've done it a bunch of times in OTAs and training camp. It's no different on game day. Sarah, we're all hoping that that's the case come regular season game day in under 4 weeks' time. Indianapolis, Colts, Ravens, September 13th. Good stuff. Great opening topic and a ton of super chats. Sarah, welcoming you back into the fold, and it begins with our guy, Anai.
Let's go. I can feel good vibes already. Anai says, welcome back, Sarah. Hope you enjoyed your trip and time with your family. We really missed you here inside the vault. Can't wait to see pictures and hear stories. Ravens football is back. Minter is doing an amazing job. And I will give you some stories at the end of the show if you stick around. I've got stories. There was some scary moments out there. I'll just tell you that. There were some scary moments.
Yeah, I'm ready to dig into that further. You kind of teased it in our pre-show meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anai. Bay. I can't say this without Bay. Bay boy with a super chat. Appreciate you, BBB. And Venom Wolf is with us today. She says, or they say, I can't remember, male, female, not sure. Venom Wolf says, welcome back, Sarah. Ravens football is back, and I'm on the Jacoby train. Call it the Lane train.
Let's go. Ooh, Lane train. I like it.
Kushernada for you.
He says, love Lane so far. Wish D-Hop was still here as a vet mentor. Loved Randall's power into the end zone. He did break some tackles on that end zone run. He said, we needed another hammer, and Hibner can really run.
Another hammer and Hibner. Appreciate you, Kush. Holly is with us. Remember, it was a big day for her on Saturday. She's a part of the game day staff on the event services for the organization. Holly says the Lane train's coming through. Choo-choo. Holly, hopefully you had a wonderful game on Saturday. Hopefully everybody looks out for Holly at the bank this season as a new employee. Venom Wolf is back.
Says, maybe I'm reaching here, but Hibner can be what Pitta, second year, was for us.
Oh. Okay, so it goes from – this is what's funny. And if Femi were here right now, he'd be keeping all the receipts because there has been, deservingly so, losing likely and knowing that Andrews has struggled the last couple of years for his standards, and that's who they chose to pay. And when I say chose, that was their really only option because likely chose to bet on himself, Sarah. But there's been a growing concern with the tight end room and just how, Hibner himself in one of his recent press conferences said that he's drinking from the fire hose. So as you start to kind of extrapolate and have the conversation, knowing that Mark has struggled, knowing that Durham Smythe doesn't have a ton of pass catching throughout his career under his belt, and knowing that you have two rookies that are learning a new system for the first time, yeah, I can see why people have kind of been slowly preparing to sound the alarm bells. Well, we've gone from that to some Dennis Pitta comparisons in what feels like 48 hours.
Can you catch me up a little bit on this tight end situation since I've been gone? What is it that they like? What is it like? What's happening with Mark Andrews to where people are saying that they're struggling? Like rookies, I get rookies are like drinking from the fire hose. They're figuring things out. I mean, Hibner played great. Of course, he's playing against other backups, so we'll want to see him do it against starters. But what is happening with Mark Andrews? Like, what's the commentary on him?
I think Jeff has charted close to double-digit drops so far. Yeah,
what?
Close to double-digit drops. This is week 4, just to be clear. It's week 4 of training camp. And so we're talking about 13 to 15, somewhere in there, of practices, training camp practices so far.
Yeah,
and he's got close to double-digit drops. I mean, as always, he makes more plays than he doesn't. But that's kind of something that's been talked about. Vinny Serrato's on record for saying that they can't get open, the rookies. They're struggling to get open. And some of these are generalizations. You don't know who they're always running with. Are they running with the ones? Are they running with Lamar? Is it accurate passes? What's going on with the line? The pass rush has been wreaking havoc this summer. It is that type of thing where it's hard to measure, because one thing that appears clear, the pass rush has been dominant. Jesse Minter's defense, as we saw on Saturday night, yes, Philadelphia was resting the majority of its starters the same way Baltimore was, but it was a group that brought pressure. All 3 levels were working in lockstep. And so you hate to like overreact, but that has been, generally speaking, some of the criticism at that position.
I can't get past the double-digit drop.
I'm sure.
That's a lot. Well, and it's kind of like Mark Andrews and
Durham Smythe.
No, I'm thinking the kicker, Ravens kicker. I'm so traumatized by him. I can't even think of his name right now. Tyler Loop and Mark Andrews are in similar situations. That it's like, listen, you choked in huge moments. And so when we come back and Tyler Loop misses his first field goal attempt since the last time he's on, a game day field, yes, it's preseason, and all of a sudden you missed again. Like, people say he's in a no-win situation until he's in a big moment, but like you can have a bigger loss than another. Like, yeah, like you could have made both those field goals and we'll be like, okay, well, we want to see it in a big moment, but you're making it worse if you continue to miss them. And so with Mark Andrews, you just think about the drop 2-point conversion. You're dropping double-digit catches in practice, training camp. Like, it's going to have people worried, especially because, not that we already know the history of it, especially because all the fans wanted Likely back and to move on from the Ravens, or the Ravens wanted them to move on from him. The Ravens also chose Likely over Mark Andrews, but Likely was determined to hit free agency and make as much money as he could, which is his prerogative and good for him. But it's going to make people nervous. I mean, you can't choke in a big moment and then come back in camp and say, oh, he has double-digit sacks, and everybody's like, oh, it's okay, it'll be fine. Because we just don't know.
What's probably not up for debate right now is that the loudest vocals right now are surrounding Tyler Loop. You just referenced the miss. He pushed it right from 49 in the first quarter. The operation up until that point, the snap, the hold, all appeared to be clean. Remember, this is somewhat of a new operation because Ryan Eckley is a first-year punter for them. He also is the placeholder. It was their first run through. He's the Michigan State rookie that Randy Brown handpicked. And we know that Jordan Stout left in free agency to join the Giants. He then goes back, though, and converts from 42. He made all 3 of his extra points. The Tyler Loop discussion rolls on. You're looking pretty good in your prediction, or not that it's a prediction, but all offseason long, you have taken issue with the fact that they don't have any competition in-house. You've talked about that. And at this point, I have to agree that I'm surprised, unlike this point last summer, where they had, whether it was a legitimate competition or not, John Hoyland, the undrafted rookie out of Wyoming, was brought in before Tyler ultimately won the job, as you would have expected, given that he was a 6th-round pick. But I am surprised, to be honest with you, at this point, that they don't have anybody in-house. And I wonder if that changes as Randy Brown looks around the league from veterans at this point. So
this is why, by the way, and maybe they'd be giving him a chance anyway. Like when a coach latches onto a player, like it's nice because as the player, you're so happy that a coach wants to coach you up and develop you and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's like, is there at all where like Randy like handpicked him and it's like the draft pick and it's just like, yeah, this is our guy, that it's like a little bit that you were like, dang it, I want to prove that I was right. You know, you just kind of, but Minter's new in town. Minter could force it if he wanted to.
He could, and he has been nothing but transparent, by the way. He has been nothing but transparent with injury-related questions for the most part.
Really?
For the most part. A lot of what he says comes true. Wiggins and Humphrey at the end of last week, hey, they're going to be back next week at some point or at some point in the future. What do we say at the top of the show? They're back in practice.
Right.
Teddy Buchanan, hey, he's getting real close. Activated from PUP on Friday.
Right.
Tyler Loop, he was asked about Tyler Loop. He said, look, not really. When Jeff asked him, are you concerned? Or has anything changed about your equation? I think that was paraphrasing on Saturday night. Not really, instead of the Harbaugh maybe like defiantly stand, which you appreciated at times when he would stand up for his guys. You understand that. But obviously the Falele discussion last year from a messaging standpoint was completely blown over, not in the right way by John, and it came back to bite him. And that's a tease and a topic for
coming up
in a couple minutes from now.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Tyler Loop discussion will continue, and the hope is that he bounces back in preseason game number 2 and 3. But Sarah, as we both know, it's really a lose-lose at this point for him until he starts banging him through in clutch scenarios in the regular season. Because if he goes 100% between now and week 1, September 13th, people are still going to have ground to stand on. What's that ground? You haven't done it in the regular season in high leverage situations yet consistently, especially from 50 or more. So
I think a better phrase, even though it doesn't sound great, it's a lose tie for him. Like if he just makes the kicks, like he's not going to win anybody over necessarily, but he's also not losing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a lose tie.
But I feel like in the court of public opinion within this fan base, I think they might go lose.
I'll say this, Loop, I wasn't buying in. See, fans gave Loop a pass because they're like, I'm glad he missed because it got John Harbaugh fired.
Oh.
Okay. I hated that.
People that really believe that.
I mean, people really were like, oh, I love Loop. Thank you, Loop. Like as if like that's really what he was trying to do or whatever. No, like he doesn't have that to hide behind anymore. I'll tell you that much.
Can live chat just tell us really quickly, was that said because I saw that sentiment, of course. Who didn't? Was that said in jest? What do you say, live chat? Were people actually pleased that Lamar in year 8 didn't have a chance to go on a run as a wild card team?
I think it was serious cope is what it was. Serious cope.
That's fair. Grumpy Ravens and a Canes fan says, quote, the infamous babyface Lane. Let's flocking go. You know, Sarah, he is so babyface. He's 22 or 23 years old, for goodness sake. Appreciate the super chat, brother. And that brings us to G-Man's 5.
He says, welcome back, Sarah. The same person who punched the ball out of Elijah made him fall. The defender did a great job not giving up on the play. Good for the defender.
You know what's funny? If memory serves, and live chat's going to have to check me on this because I was doing a live play-by-play and I didn't have as much time to chart as we usually do with our notes. I'm pretty sure Sean Wade knocked that football out. A former Raven, now in Philadelphia. They traded for him several years ago. But live chat can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Thanks, G-Mans. At the end of the bar, says Sarah, all of which is in caps, you're back. Let Bobby tell you about last week. I'm guessing this is related to a...
Did you get in a fight?
Unintentional. No, I kept it very cordial.
Okay.
Very cordial all 2 weeks. I was too busy with content to get in fights. You know me too well, by the way, with that guess.
Yeah.
No, so we tried something different on the collective with just a technical thing on the background. I used a headset one day to try and fix something that Cole was having an issue with on his back end.
Okay.
Well, as you know, StreamYard can be finicky. You know where this is going. And I get ready for a show that might have been on Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, guys. I can't remember when, Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's a busy show. Like I had a fully jam-packed show. I don't think you know where this is going, actually.
I don't at all.
And now it's cracking me up that you don't, because I'm not going to draw this out. But I went 4.5 minutes not knowing I was muted to start the show.
Oh!
I'm telling you right now.
Wait, what? You weren't looking at the chat to tell you?
These things right here that I used for the collective were not still in, but whatever they did to my laptop screwed up StreamYard, and something on the settings was finicky. Sarah, I went 4.5 minutes. Thank goodness my phone, and yes, you asked me, no, I wasn't looking at the live chat because it was like multitask mode and there was a lot going on. Practice was happening simultaneously. Sarah, if I didn't have my phone up and faced open, which is not often the case, I usually flip it over once the show starts.
Yeah.
Richard called me. You know, Richard has my number from our YSA event a few years ago. The young single adults Mormon church event that I went to in DC. He calls me. I'm like, what's happening? Then I shift over to live chat because I think something terribly went wrong. I'm muted. And the entire chat is going off. It's going off.
Wait, this is happening on the vault?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
4.5 straight minutes.
I get so nervous about that because we don't have each other to sound check when we're solo. Like that's the first thing I do is I start watching the chat to make sure that the audio's there.
Smart. It's smart.
Yeah.
I obviously that was a gaffe by me. But what did I do, chat? What did I do after that? What happened? The moment I realized it, what did I do? I restarted it. I restarted the show. I just hit the intro again and I came out hot. And you know what I said once the audio started working? And I meant this. I absolutely nailed that opening monologue. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I ripped it. So you know what I did? And I was ticked off about it. But you know what I did? I hit the intro again and said the exact same thing, the best memory that I had for 4.5 straight minutes to kick off the second part of the show.
You just act like it didn't happen? You just act like it didn't happen at all?
100%. 100%. So thanks to Richard for bailing me out. Thanks to all of you guys for your patience. And
Richard
yeah,
got your back. I love it.
I figured you might get a kick out of that. Mike is with us, and he's celebrating almost a full year of channel membership.
He says, Sarah, it's good to have you back. Did you learn some Swahili? I learned, oh, shoot, I already lost it. So sawa, which is like, we're ready to go. Because they kept asking us in this part, like, did you get your pictures? Are you ready to move on? Nice. He says, LOL, as soon as you left, Zay signed as expected. Another trip so LJ can sign the extension? Sure. Send me to the other side of the world again, and then LJ will sign for sure. Every time I leave, massive news comes down.
Yep. And remember, going back to the Lamar saga, you were in Japan when the trade request came down, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere during the non-exclusive franchise tag, or maybe the tweet statement that he put out. You were in Japan, I think.
Yeah, probably.
And then remember, though, it's not always you. It's often you, but it's not always you.
Too.
Remember where I was during the Max Crosby trade that wouldn't be, but was that night? I was in Vermont for a wedding.
That's right. I was in Cabo when John Harbaugh got fired.
Yes. Yes. We've had our fair, as you would expect, over 5 years.
Yes.
As we live our lives, as you're
I'm living
a
my
mother
life.
of four. Yeah.
I'm living my life.
Yes. Yes, you are. And we will continue to. Chad Bauer is with us. What's going on, Chad? He gifted 5 channel memberships. 5 new Voltrons have become official members of the channel. Thanks to Bauer Power 4. Appreciate you, brother. And let him know, please, if you were on the receiving end of that generous gift. Dre Dog for you.
It says four white. This is how crazy people know my life. They're like, wait, wasn't she in Switzerland when that happened? It's like hilarious to me that people can remember. Like I don't remember.
That
Okay,
was an
Dre
amazing
Dog.
mother-daughter trip.
Yeah.
Mother-daughter trip.
Yeah. What's up, Dre Dog? He says 4 wide receivers over 6 foot. Heck yeah, we are seeing change.
Appreciate you, Dre. SMTX0526 says Ravens football is back. Excuse me. Ravens football is back. Welcome back, Sarah. All of it's in caps. There's exclamation points there. Everybody's jacked up about what we watched on Saturday. Jacked up to have you back, as am I. Isaiah is celebrating 15 months of channel membership. People are flexing their commitments to the vault on this Monday. This one's for you.
Says excited to have y'all for another anticipated season. Who's your starting 4 rushers, as in running backs, not pass rushers?
I would think pass rushers, but you talking about the pass rushers there, Isaiah?
Top 4? Do you mean top 4? Because I don't think you're starting 4 of them.
We know who's in the lead spot, in the closer, and the guy they paid $100 million to, Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like after Hendrickson, yeah, what will is it Mike Green's job to lose? Is he going to be the second sack getter, if you will, this year in year 2? And what kind of year will Tavius Robinson have?
Matabike will be, if he's healthy.
Well, yeah, if at least he was a sack getter in 23
Has
when he went for double digits.
Matabike didn't practice while I was gone, correct?
Namdi often is in positional type one-on-one drills, but the majority of his time so far has been spent working on a side field with the strength and conditioning staff. Anthony Weaver can be seen working one-on-one with him. But in terms of a practice, which again kind of leads you to believe that week 1 is likely out of play for Namdi, I would think at this point, there has not been a traditional practice for him in terms of full physical participation.
And did I hear, I think I was trying to catch up on news. I was listening to Collective. I thought Jeff said maybe he might be back this week for team. I don't want to put words in Jeff's mouth.
Namdi, I don't know if there's a timeline on him yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, Isaiah, I mean, after Hendrickson, we know there's going to be a conversation to be had, right, in terms of pass rush presence and impact. Yeah. But if you take Namdi out for a second, which I know is a big if, and we just got to figure out what the timeline is, it's pretty obvious, right? It's in no particular order after Hendrickson, Sarah, Green, Robinson, and Young. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Those 4 players
are
going to be all jockeying and fighting and scratching and clawing for opportunities. Appreciate you, Isaiah. My timber shivered, Sarah. You got to take this one.
Oh boy, here we go. You know, I'm always half excited and half nervous about my timber shivers. Here we go. He says, it's almost like we got rid of a mediocre cheerleader and all of a sudden football schemes fell into Baltimore. For the first time in a while, schemes were sound. We didn't have 6 receivers on a napkin. So obviously comparing Minter and Harbaugh there.
He went tame on you there. My timber shiver. Appreciate you. Sparta Cuz 6719 says, I am on the Oliva Venga Ioane all the way. Let's go. I think it may be the first offensive line jersey I purchase. Okay. And Sparta, topic number 2, you already know we got coming up in just a second on all things Venga after a solid debut. Yes, just 15 snaps, but he looked good, Sarah. And Baldy's going to do a great job of breaking it down for us. Yep. Ivory Smith II is celebrating 13 months of channel membership for you.
He says, I'm in agreement with TB12 and Nightcap. Even the starters need to play at least one preseason game. Injuries can happen. Give me one that shouldn't be a fear. You know, I think a while back you and I had kind of debated. I thought Lamar might play in one game just because it's a brand new system. But Minter says no, which I don't hate, but things could be clunky for a second.
I would love to know who's actually the one maybe speaking with conviction on that front. Is it Lamar going to Jesse and say, look, this has worked for me in the past. I feel comfortable where we're at. I'd rather not lace up till week 1. Or is it collaborative? Is it Declan? Is it Jesse? I'd be really curious to see how that decision was made given the new regime.
Right.
JL Green says, and by the way, this comes off of Lamar sharing with Evan Washburn on Saturday night. We'll continue to reiterate that he is not playing in the preseason.
Yeah.
That's what he told Evan. James Green, what's up, JL? He says, hi, Bobby and Sarah. I think Steve Smith nailed it with respect to improving the quality of play on the defense as the key to success for the Ravens. I'm ecstatic with what I see so far. And Sarah, I think Keon Martin, one of the defensive standouts, not only do we get a look at him in terms of what he can do on blitz opportunities, he had a sack on Saturday night, but I think we'll see him inside with that nickel rotation. Undrafted rookie from last year, has a knack for the ball, good instincts, had a nice night on Saturday under Jesse Minter. True Son's with us.
Says Loop just doesn't have no fire to fix his problem.
And Venom Wolf says that Tyler makes him nervous, like Billy Cundiff type nervous. LOL. I'm sure you're not alone, as Venom updated his. I wasn't sure earlier on he or she, his profile photo. Look at him looking clean. My Timber Shivered's back for more.
Says not saying what we did was right, but
if he was going to be easy on you to begin with, the second one you already know was not going to be easy. This is a Justin Tucker reference. And his third super chat says, I would have loved to have seen Lamar get one. Yes, if you can read, you can read. I'm not going to put Sarah through that. I would have loved to have seen it's day one back. Timber, come
it's
back.
It's almost like when you egged him on when you're like, oh, he took it easy on you on that one. So then he's like, oh, yeah, watch this.
Timber, I'd be a little bit more receptive once we get into the season. Sarah's, a couple more weeks together, right? We're in the grind. I'd be a little bit more receptive to it. Get back to me in September. Third super chat. I would have loved to have seen Lamar get one, but he was never going to get one under Harbaugh. So, yes, I'm glad Luke missed.
See?
I think that was in reference to my question.
But here's the problem, Mike Timber Shivered, is Steve Bisciotti said he was going to fire Harbaugh anyway. He didn't need Luke to miss the kick. The only thing that was going to save John Harbaugh was a Super Bowl win. Like Steve Bisciotti, remember he was asked there, if Luke had made the kick, would John have saved his job? And he said, for one more week.
Yep.
You didn't need Luke to miss that in order for John Harbaugh to be moved out.
I love me some Timber. I really do. Supports the program. Hilarious. Raunchy. Tim, you can't tell me this, Timber, because anything goes. You win and you're in. You hit it through the hashes and you are in. And anything goes from there, even as a wild card team. Oh, by the way, in the 30-plus years of history, when have they been at their best in their Super Bowl runs? When they're a wild card team. Who would have? I don't know. I find that hard to believe that you wouldn't have taken a chance, Sarah, given Lamar's greatness, at wanting that kick to go through the uprights to give yourself a shot at the dance.
Get a shot. And the Ravens players said that they were they thought they were turning it around. They really believed that with Lamar back and him ramping up and being healthy, they thought they were going to go on a run for sure.
Anything goes. Another one, Venom Wolf says the infamous Bobby the Mute episode with a woof. Yeah, I'm sure everybody out there was punching air as I just ripped a monologue that nobody could hear, but they could see. They could see it all right.
Wait, is that deleted? Because I would love to read the chat as you are talking into the universe for nobody to hear, just into a black hole for nobody to hear. I would have loved to have seen them ripping you in the live chat.
Oh, yeah. For starters, I didn't delete it because I thought it was entertaining.
Okay.
2, the chat can go back and grab the date for us because I can't remember. It was last week. And 3, if you do end up doing that out there, let us know which episode it is so Sarah can go humor herself later on.
TGIF said you were getting cooked.
Of course. And thanks to Richard for giving me a call. I mean, really, that's my guy. AQ13OMS says, hey, guys, longtime listener. I just love the content in your work. I was at the game, and Loop looked very inconsistent in warm-ups. I'm nervous. AQ, thanks for mentioning that because the beat reporter community shared that as well. And then what do you know, Sarah? A bad warm-up turned into a bad first kick. He missed from 49 in the first quarter. For those of you that missed it, He did go on to make later on in the game from 42. So
I'm not happy about this.
Hey, Q, it's great to see you in the non-audio only space. Definitely a fresh face, fresh name. Nightmare Kilo's with us, Sarah.
He says, kick for change was real. Many fans were not feeling confident that Fish Fillet and Voorhees were going to stop Anderson and Hunter.
Everybody's weighing in on the question that I asked earlier on. Lost So Serious is celebrating 15 months of channel membership with us.
He says, after
and
one.
writes, yep. Hey. Make up for lost
I jumped
time,
the gun, buddy. I jumped the gun.
Make up for lost time.
He says, after one preseason game, which position do you guys think is the most concerning? Welcome back, Sarah. I think the one we're talking about with Loop.
Yeah. I mean, depending on based on how the year ended, how can it not, right?
I mean, everywhere else, it's like you upgraded the guard position. Like Teddy Buchanan's back. Nate Wiggins is back. He's not. Quarterback's awesome. Running back, wide receivers. We're talking about Jacoby Lane and Zay. I mean, tight ends is a little concerning, but Hibner seemed to quiet that for the moment with, a good preseason outing against other backups. So we'll see. How are you? We saw that Loop can take you out of the playoffs, literally.
Well, and if we maybe want to put it into one category as special teams in general, knowing what they've lost and the fact that Ryan Eckley is a first-year punter whose first attempt, and you want to give these guys the benefit of the doubt. Look, man, I mean, some of this is experimentation. They're trying different things. I'm sure there was some nerves for Ryan. Sarah, I think he shanked his first punt. It was just 27 yards on Saturday night. So now, again, just as Tyler did to convert from 42, came back and booted one inside the 10, about 40 yards. So good for him. But I think special teams in general would be probably the answer to this question.
Yeah.
Yo-Jitsu is celebrating 17 months with us. Man, I love the fact that all of you guys are celebrating milestones with us today and using your channel perk, right? Your membership perk, which is in part your chance to send in a super chat. Yo-Jitsu writes, welcome back. I love it when the dynamic duo is back at it. Man, oh man, did the three rookies I watched do their thing. Ioane, Lane, and Randall. Happy Monday. Yeah, I was a lot more impressed, Yo-Jitsu, with Vanga and Jacoby. I thought that they were struggling to run the ball, even though they dominated the Eagles in terms of rushing yards, total plays, time of possession, first downs, so on and so forth. I did think, and why I'm not going to overreact to Adams Knight, Sarah, the rookie running back, is just because, with all due respect, the guys that he was running behind. It's not the ones, right? And then again, they were definitely not going up against probably the deepest and baddest defensive line in the entire league in Philadelphia. They played no one essentially up front.
Yeah.
But I just kind of felt like they weren't moving a ton of bodies. But again, the Ravens did still finish with 142 rushing yards, 46 of which came from Adam. Mira is here.
Said, send Sarah on another vacation, and we might see a Lamar extension, LMAO. Guys, where are you going to send me?
They're going to fund you as well?
Yeah, can you fund me as well?
They're going to fund it?
Because Africa was not cheap. So we need a reload.
Imagine that a place where the dollar typically you would think goes a long way, much like it has in a lot of places, third world countries that I've traveled to. But they know the conversion. They're smart people. They understand it. They know just how far the dollar can go, especially when you got 6 people. D Rose 79. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. D Rose 79 says, and he's celebrating 15 months of channel membership. Happy that I got rid of the marshmallows on the offensive line. Maybe another good segue into topic number 2. Alicia Merritt is with us, Sarah.
She says Sarah's back. How are we feeling about the O-line play thus far? Well, let's again, we keep teasing it, but let's talk about the O-line coming up, Alicia. We're gonna answer your question here.
Well, you guys are alive today too. I mean, there's over 2,300 concurrents for starters watching us real time today. Almost 1,200 of which are in the YouTube space. So it goes without saying. Thank you guys for being with us on this Monday. Sarah and I are gearing up for our 5th season doing this together. We're very excited about it. And please like the video if you haven't already done so. We're coming up on 30,000 subscriptions. I thought we were going to hit that before Sarah came back. It'll be close.
Where are we at? I'm glad I'm going to be here for it. I didn't want to
Less
miss
than
that
100.
milestone too.
Less than 100. It's a great day to remind you, especially when we got almost 1,200. If you find yourself watching and you're not subscribed, we'd love for you to change that. Go check if you could. We're coming up on 30K. Alicia, we're getting that in just a second, like we said. And another one from My Timber Shivered. He writes, greatness is hard enough. Greatness while trying to beat stupidity is impossible. If it weren't for Ray, John, Harbaugh, if it weren't for Ray, John, Harbaugh could have fallen into a barrel full of Lombardis and come out sucking his thumb. That was a treacherous read for me, My Timber Shivered. In the live chat's loving it.
I think
4 different super chats from Timber today.
Let's go. I think you should say if it weren't for Ray, John Harbaugh would have. Yeah. Zayed saying, how many quarters does 8 survive with 77 and 72 against Houston?
Well, I think he's given a lot of respect to Houston's defensive line, which he should.
Yes,
But the good news is, Zayed, Lamar doesn't have to run behind them or play behind them anymore. So I'm not sure what the purpose of the question is. Voorhees is a reserve offensive lineman. He just restructured or took a contract adjustment. I'm pretty sure it was a pay cut. Brian McFarland shared that, Sarah, while you were gone, leading you to believe that he is a part of their plans. He will be one of the 9 or 10 or whatever the number ends up becoming of offensive linemen as a reserve. Started a bunch of games, to Zayed's point, at left guard last year, is not expected to start this year. And Fa'alele's in New York, which we're getting to, if you haven't heard, in just a second. BG method for you.
Says, I was happy to see Surratt stand out. He'll learn from the fumble better now than in games that count. That's true. Hopefully he learns his lesson high and tight.
Katie Ramey becoming a new channel member. Welcome to Vaultron status, Katie. Thank you for the love.
Katie, weren't you already a member? Or am I thinking
it sounds like a renewal to me.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Mr. Wicks, celebrating 4 months, writes, we are cooked at kicker. His confidence, meaning Mr. Wicks' confidence in Loop, is shot.
That's what I'm saying. This is a psychological game, too.
Nuno, for you, 16 months.
He says the rookies at wide receiver and tight end are a good surprise. Martin keeps shining. I think you've got a slide on him coming up, yeah?
He looked good.
But the most important, he said, protect Lamar offensive line. That is the truth.
And Pete says Jake Moody was released. Good kicking matters. Commanders just released him earlier today, or at least that's when the story broke. He's 26. He went 19 of 23 last year, 10 of 11. He made both of his 50 or more yard attempts with a long of 56. So again, the Commanders are releasing Jake Moody. I have not followed this, to be honest. I assume that there is a competition. They're going with, of course, I just found it, a rookie, Drew Stevens. So Drew Stevens, a rookie, beats out veteran Jake Moody, who is now available and right down the road from Baltimore. Appreciate you, Pete, for the heads up there. Let's see if the Ravens have any interest in bringing in a veteran between now and the start of the season. And just so that we're caught up to date, this is yours, Sarah, and you already know what the answer to this question is.
He says, will the Vault be making their 53 player on its active roster prediction this year before final cuts? Yes. But of course, Bobby's going to be lame and he's going to delegate his 53-man predictions to Jason over from Huddle It Up Films because Bobby doesn't like to make predictions.
You know, Femi came on both Fridays for Femi Fridays while you were gone.
Yeah.
I said something about my optimism about something. I can't remember what it was. And he goes, are you projecting right now? I said, yeah. He goes, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I said, yes, I can project every once in a while.
I understand how you can have a podcast, a daily podcast, and not want to make predictions. Like, it's a sports podcast. That's like what we do.
Genuinely, it's the broadcaster in me. It really is.
Genuinely,
I'd rather tee up others. I'd rather tee up others. It will be fun to be more involved this year, and you and I can talk about it. I'm just refreshing on when cut down day is because it's different this year. So it is Sunday, August 30th at 6 o'clock is when 90-man rosters turn into 53-man rosters. Sunday, August 30th, 6 o'clock Eastern. And I think we can have some fun with this because it is new. It's a very competitive roster. But in other cases, it's a very obvious roster, right? The cornerbacks, the back end of the cornerback room is going to be fun to watch. Inside linebacker, especially with Teddy, going to be fun to watch. Who are potential IR candidates? Is Nnamdi going to miss the first month of the season as an IR candidate? I wonder. Because as of right now, after what he's dealt with the last 10 months or darn near close to it, is it really realistic to expect him to play week 1? I don't think so. So there's a lot of fun. I think it's going to be fun this year. I'm probably a lot more receptive to it this year than I have been in years past. And I look forward to it.
I mean, really, we're only predicting 3 or 4 positions at most.
Exactly. Venom, did you know what you were doing there? Acid Burn 698 has become a.
I love it when people tee me up to just like mess with you a little bit. It's just great.
To hit one out of the park.
Yeah.
Acid, thank you for channel membership. Great to have you as part of the VAULTRON community. Same thing with Action Lifts. Welcome, gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. Thanks to all of you. I think a lot of people are using the comment that we pinned in our live chat today. There's a direct link where you can go directly to become or give channel membership if you're interested in doing so. Great way to continue to grow this program. Thanks, everyone. Spencer's here with us today, Sarah.
He says, in defense of the celebration of Loop's missed field goal, so he's talking about from last year, the Steelers game. If they said if he had made that tick, Ioane would be a Steeler. They were actively trying to move in front of the Ravens in the first round of the draft.
I remember reports on that for sure. Whether it was for Vanga remains to be seen, obviously, but could see there.
Yeah, maybe. But that
appreciate
still
you,
sounds
Spence.
like cope.
Love the profile
Love you,
photo.
Spencer.
Yeah, look at Spence and his young fella there. I assume
So
that's his
cute.
son. Venom says, boo, he's booing me. Come on, Bobby. Let's do the predictions. Well, the predictions.
Throw tomatoes at Bobby. Can I get a couple tomatoes?
The
wait.
episode itself is going to be done regardless. Like, we're not going to not have the episode because I don't want to do it. I'll either facilitate it or because it always falls on when I'm typically on the West Coast, which I haven't had a chance to tell you yet because you've been in Africa. I am going back to that Vegas conference. And typically I'm just like, hey, Sarah, do you want to do it with Jason? Yes. Okay, great. See you soon.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's what goes down. But Venom, thank you for your passion. I hear you.
But you said you're going to do it. So, okay. But I got tomatoes going for you anyway. Yes.
I think it'd be a fun, yeah, of course you do. I think it'd be a fun, you know what? Everything feels reinvigorating because of how new things are, because of how plugged in this fan base is, because of the renewed sense of hope, optimism, so on and so forth. The way that Jesse Minter's defense was flying around on Saturday night, the way that they were operationally clean, by the way, and we're going to shift gears to our next topic, we promise, in just a second. But I'll just say this, Sarah. 3 Yeah, I had that right. 3 penalties for 25 yards. You want to know what Philadelphia? 10 penalties for 96 yards. It was a clean operation on both sides of the ball. So I think that starts with coaching.
Excellent.
Yep. Okay. As promised, let's shift gears. Appreciate you guys for being with us today. And let's talk about this. Vanga Ioane, Sarah. 15 snaps, first quarter appearance, preseason debut now under his belt. And my goodness, is there not only a stark contrast between last year's right guard and presumably this year's shoo-in starting right guard, being that they used a first-round pick on him. Not only is there that, and we'll explain why now that preseason's underway, but everybody's talking about Vanga within the offensive line community, and that includes friend of the program, Brian Baldinger. Sarah, he looked good, Vanga did, and the Ravens knew it because they put up this MASH clip in-game on Saturday night of him just looking for work, showing a nastiness, and doing what he was brought to Baltimore to do. It was fun, and I know you got to be fired up about his hot start despite a small sample size.
Listen, I had tunnel vision when it came to the Ravens' first-round draft pick. You know I wanted Vanga. And you know that I wanted it for moments like this so we could watch film. So we could watch film to where we're not pulling our hair out and watching our right guard get spun around in a blender. Although we are going to have those clips too, but now he's wearing blue. He's not wearing purple anymore. He's wearing blue. Our guy from the first round is just pancaking people, protecting the quarterback, not letting anybody get close to Huntley because that's who was playing. And here's Brian Baldinger, as you said, breaking it all down. Your first round draft pick, Vavenga Ioane.
One is Vavega Ioane. This is his first snap in the NFL. Do you think he was excited to hit somebody? Like, he takes this nose tackle for a ride, but he's not done. Where's Jihad Campbell? He wears an Eagle uniform. Let's give him a shove. And then there's somebody else in another color uniform. Let's get three. Let's get three right there. There's a new bouncer in town, all right, in Baltimore. Vavega Ioane. You watch him right here, okay? You got to, like, here it is. The slow screen to the right, all right? Good setup right here, all right? Let's go take Jihad Campbell right here. Let's give him a good push right there. And let's help my backup off the ground. All right, here we go. Like, you're going to set flat and wire the guy up.
Not getting
like
back.
Lamar will like this. Keep your man on the line of scrimmage. That's what he did at Penn State for a long time. And then if he's free to help out, like he is right here, like Arnold Ebiketie, he went to Penn State. Like, that's just Nittany Lion on Nittany Lion crime. Like, just jump over him right there. Beautiful stuff. Like, oh, this is good. This is good. Against Ty Robinson, he went to Nebraska. All right, he's an inside 4-eye. Bam. Like, just set that pocket flat. Him and Pinto right there. Let Huntley make the throw. Let Lamar make the throw. That's how he's used to playing. Vavega Ioane. Just keep your eyes on 71. You're going to have a good time watching some football.
We got to get the pronunciation down, Baldy. But certainly point taken, Sarah. 15 snaps. That's all it was. And he gave Baldy and everybody else plenty to discuss.
Bobby, he was sounding like a little boy on Christmas morning again. Like, he's just like watching that film and just drooling over there over Venga. But like, you saw it, like you saw the shot that Jihad took it at his like his head. Venga's like, that does nothing to me. Absorb the little hit that you try to do, the little jab that you try to do. They're coming right at him. He doesn't give up he's not backing up. He's not backpedaling. Like, Tyler Huntley is back there so just at ease. So at ease. And it's just like, sit down, buddy. Sit down. To Baldy's point, he's just constantly looking. He's never finished. Like, how many times did you see Daniel Fa'alele, if it wasn't getting turned around in the blender, it's just like, he's just gassed. He's just gassed. Venga's not gassed.
Look at him.
He wants more. Get more. That's all he wants. It's just, just get off my guys. Just wait till Lamar's back there. Just wait till Lamar's back there. He's either going to be sipping Kool-Aid, but again, you got four other guys you got to worry about. But when you're talking about the right guard position, and then if he wants to run, go run behind Ioane. Look how he just plays angry. He plays like you offended his mother. Just get out of here. I love him.
Let's help out the audio only. So the first clip here that we're sharing, this is courtesy of Ravens Productions. Venga does his job initially, right? Just working his butt off. And then once he handles the primary initial defender, he just goes and trucks a guy. Okay? Trucks a guy right there. Bang. And then what does he do after the whistle, basically, or right as the whistle, the proverbial whistle, is being whistled? He just shoves a guy for good measure.
Oh, that's because
why not?
That's because he's on Tez Walker. He's like, get off my receiver. I'm not just protecting my quarterback. Get off my receiver.
Dreams is absolutely, consider Dreams plugged in today. He's been all over Venga since the second draft season was a thing. And he says, oh, live of Venga Ioane. That is all, with the purple devilish emoji. Sarah, This is the type of nastiness that the Ravens obviously embody. It's been well accounted for on the defensive side of the ball. And certainly Marshall Yanda and a number of others throughout their 30-plus years have embodied that, symbolized that on the offensive side of the ball in the trenches. Looks like Venga's next man up in that regard.
Man, this is what makes me happy, because when he came in after the draft and he was talking big, but like monotone, right? Like It just was like matter of fact. And he's just like, nobody's touching my quarterback, period.
Yep.
And so like, you love it when people back that stuff up. I remember Trenton Simpson was drafted and he talked big and I was like, oh, I like him, but he hasn't been able to back it up on the field. Ioane is that enforcer. Brian called him the bouncer. Like that is who he is. That's just who he is. And it's such a joy to have that. I can't imagine, like, if we're fired up like this, how Lamar Jackson is, because Lamar Jackson never once complained publicly about Daniel Fa'alele. In fact, a couple times he came to his defense.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand, although I do understand it, because I think people just want to feel like they're being proven right. While Ioane went out here and put this film on, we saw clips coming out of New York that are all too familiar from Daniel Fa'alele, because John Harbaugh went and picked him up. And look at this. This is just, oops, I messed up. I wanted to hit pause. It's going to have a close-up here in just a minute. It's just a straightforward block, but he can't do it. He just lets the guy beat him, and his quarterback's cooked.
Yeah.
His left guard got beat too. So he went to go run from pressure up the middle, and then he ran right into the defensive end, or the pass rusher that beat the left guard. Like, look. I mean, we saw that all the time, and people would, like, coping. Cope is like, I feel like a major word here today when we're talking about loop. But it'd be like, oh, well, Fa'alele plays well. It's just those handful of plays, like really low light film. Well, I don't want the low light film. I want the highlight film. And that's exactly what we have now. And Bobby, we played earlier a clip from Nightcap. Shannon Sharp absolutely rips John Harbaugh for deciding to take Fa'alele back up with him to New York.
He bad. And Lamar might have said, look here, if y'all get rid of him, I'll let y'all keep $10 million.
He was that bad last year?
Ask Ocho.
Hey, Joe. Hey, I don't talk about nobody, Joe. It's hard for me, to talk about a player. If anything, I try to find the good in it, but it was bad, based on the film that we saw, and because it's the Ravens, because it's Lamar Jackson, and everybody's watching their games.
Yeah.
So it magnified everything he did wrong. It magnified it even more.
Hell, I couldn't magnify anything that he did right. I mean, as soon as the snap of the ball, you do it like this right here, Joe. Man going past you.
Right.
Man, come on, man. Like I said, boy, if I was Lamar, because you know how the quarterbacks, Ocho, they always buy the offensive lineman. Buy them gift. They buy them golf clubs, shotgun. They buy them ATVs.
Yeah. They get them something.
Bro, don't look at you. Ain't nothing in front of your locker. You ain't getting a mofo thing.
Yeah.
I can't believe Harbs took it with him.
Yeah.
I'd have left him in Baltimore.
They had to give him a little chance, man. It's the first preseason game. We'll give him a shot. See what he got.
See what he look like.
Who?
It's over with, huh? It's over with.
He might get better. Think about he had a season to train, to prepare, to get better at his position. Hard believes in him. So that
man been in Baltimore 5-6 years. What you mean gonna get better?
Here's what's crazy. That's just that picks up right where they left off the last time they were talking about him. But we remember featuring that in season. That got really loud for Daniel. Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. The Giants may actually have bigger issues because it wasn't even Daniel's fault on the play that Jackson was sent to the blue medical tent for concussion protocol. It was a blindside corner blitz, and Jay Ward, his name is, got a clean shot on Jackson. Clean shot. And anybody who followed him last year for the Giants, and I'm not saying I followed it closely, but closely enough to realize that Jackson has to know when to get down, get out of bounds, protect himself, because the way that he's going has RG3 written all over him. And that's scary because he's super talented, but that's going to be a problem for him. And again, Fa'alele was the biggest story within Ravens circles, watching some of those clips circulate the internet. But in Giant circles, it's, can we please get Jackson to stay healthy and have a level of awareness, more situational awareness, right? Some of those instinctual awareness that you need to protect yourself.
Yeah, so a couple things here. Number one, Dart is not Lamar. Lamar Jackson makes offensive linemen look better. He'll make a mediocre offensive lineman look competent. He'll make a good offensive lineman look great, and he'll make a great one look like a Hall of Famer. Okay? John Harbaugh and Jackson Dart, John Harbaugh has Jackson Dart now. He doesn't have Lamar Jackson. And so it's funny because it's too bad because these guys are ripping, and you get it. They're ripping Daniel Fa'alele, and the jokes are too easy. But it's really John Harbaugh. And so it's like you could see Chad Ochocinco trying to give grace, which I love that about Chad. He's trying to give grace. It's like, well, it's preseason. It's like, man, he's been a starter 2 years in a row, and he's up in there. I don't know if the guy who beat him was a backup or not. He may have been, because it's not like Jackson Dart was already off the field, so maybe backups were already in. It's like you've been starting for 2 years, and you're getting embarrassed. You're having another low light in a preseason game. And so it's Shannon saying, why did Harbaugh take him up there? Like, we've been asking the question, like, why did Harbaugh keep holding on to him for 2 years here? And then he took him up there. And I was reading articles about it, and people were pointing out, well, he's on a contract that really he's cuttable. Maybe Daniel Fa'alele will be cut. And it's like, maybe, but maybe not, given John Harbaugh's determination to turn Daniel Fa'alele into from a blender into like a solid starter. But to Shannon Sharp's point, it hasn't happened by now. He's not getting the gifts in front of the locker room, right? In front of his locker. He's not getting those things. And it's almost as if, like, it's just unreal that, like, Harbaugh hasn't given up on him. And it's like, I hope to find people in my life like that. People who just do not give up on me and care about me that much. Everybody needs a John Harbaugh in their life that cares for him as much as he cares for Daniel Fa'alele.
Well, and now the Ravens get a fresh of breath air.
Oh,
with a player that is coming in with a mentality, a nastiness, and this pro readiness that so many within that space have spoken about at length, have evaluated him to be. That's life now at right guard. He is absolutely going to be their starter. And Sarah, another thing that came out while you were gone was the first, as you know, an annual event that happens prior to the preseason, the initial unofficial depth chart released by public relations.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you know? There was no or, unlike the center competition, there was no or in between Vanga Ioane, second, third, fourth string guards. It's his spot. And the Ravens went and paid him to be that guy, meaning with a first round contract.
Okay,
So-
wait. So catch me up on the center position.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the or was being between Pinter and Ethan.
There's actually 3, crazy enough.
There were
So
3.
Well, I guess technically 2, but 3 men within it. And it was Posick. Now, Pinter was first string.
Okay.
And then you know what? I better just pull it up so I'm not talking out the side of my mouth here. But
As you're pulling it up, what are you hearing from reporters on who looks good and better and best?
that Gwynn had a nice night on Saturday. That there's been a lot of conversation about how Javon Gwynn, who was brought over from Atlanta with Dwayne Ledford, had a nice evening, and to not write him off in the competition.
Okay.
And I want you to be able to see this, since it'd be educational for those that maybe missed it last week when this unofficial initial depth chart came out from the organization. Happens on an annual basis. point is, Pinter, Posick, and Gwynn appear to be, and here it is right here. We'll blow it up too so that you can see. So Posick technically is second string here, as you can see.
Yeah.
But Javon Gwynn is right there as well. Nick Dawkins, the undrafted rookie out of Penn State, is the fourth. And then another thing to update you on too, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sure seems like Corey Bullock's not even in the conversation anymore.
Yeah.
He missed a boatload of camp this summer with an appendix, as you know. He's now involved on the 90-man roster and playing and presumably healthy, but it doesn't appear that he is a legitimate contender for center. And as you can see, he was listed as a reserve left guard behind Simpson and Voorhees.
Is Ethan Posick healthy?
Healthy enough to get some time in the second half on Saturday night, but we've barely seen him running with the ones. Reports show, and Jeff's talked about this, that he's going to have his chance. And Jesse keeps saying that it's a competition, leading you to believe that based on this depth chart, it's a three-man competition, but he hasn't gotten a lot of chances running with the ones. And you wonder if time's running out for him, given the ramp-up period after last year's Achilles tear. You get the sense that he's on a very strict medical type requirement.
Limitations.
Yeah, that he has to hit these certain benchmarks. And because of that, it seems as if Pinter's got the most opportunities. We'll learn more over the next couple weeks, but there's a lot of talk coming off of Saturday night about Javon Gwynn.
Well, meanwhile, Bobby, Jesse Minter's at the podium right now. We've got quick hits and we can finish up. But he was asked about Tyler Loop. Here's Jeff on Twitter saying, Minter said he feels good about where Tyler Loop is at, but obviously it comes down to making them, meaning the field goals. I don't feel good, but I appreciate the coach speak.
Yeah.
He said that Trenton Simpson has had an unbelievable training camp and that he can line up in a variety of different spots. I do think Minter could help develop him. I'm not writing that off.
Jalen Hawkins reeled in an interception today.
There we go, Jalen.
So good for him. Xavier Guillory, we saw a lot of him on Saturday night, undrafted rookie wide receiver. He was injured, according to Brian Wacker, during a one-on-one special teams drill going up against Keandre Jackson. Looked like it was his upper body. He left and went inside. So just as you're looking at the 90-man roster. Keandre, boy. Sarah, he's had a heck of a summer, and I don't think he's just a special teamer for him. I think he's got a legitimate chance to be safety number 4. So that's something to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, by all accounts, based on the beat reporter community and their notes, looked like it was kind of somewhat of a slow practice.
Yeah. Well, they're just
aside
coming
from
off.
Jalen Hawkins. Yep.
Well, and they're also going up to Minnesota where it's going to get ramped up. Cordell Woodland here saying that Minter said he's expecting Nnamdi Madubuike will be ramped up over the next few weeks.
Yeah. He's not playing week 1.
No.
And you know what that means. If he's not playing week 1, they got a decision to make. Are you putting him in terms of roster spots? Are you putting him? Do you think he's going to be ready within the first month of the season? Because if he is, then you don't have to put him on short-term IR. If you don't think so, you're going to add a roster spot and then place him on injured reserve. Maybe you take another lineman.
If you're ramping him up over the next couple weeks, maybe not week 1, but it can still be within the first 4 weeks.
Sure. It looks like, hey, based on Buchanan, by the way, while we're on the topic of injured reserve and those conversations that need to happen, if he was activated on Friday, tore the ACL in December, and is now practicing today, like you were kind of like insinuating, or at least not willing to rule out earlier on in the show, who's to say this guy still can't win the weak side job like he did last year, week 1?
That's what I'm saying.
Good for him, man. Good for him. Rasheen Ali, meanwhile, is working through some stuff. I don't think you mentioned anything about this.
No.
Didn't specify, Jesse Minter did not, the nature of the injury, but Rasheen has missed about a week, which is why the Ravens brought in 3 running backs over the weekend, Sarah, the day after the preseason game, to work out, and they ended up signing Jonathan Ward, Central Michigan product. He was with the Ravens practice squad for part of last year. The other two were Dearness Johnson and Jared Chisari. But Jonathan Ward ends up, again, he'll be someone along with Adam Randall and Tao Tolliver and McMillan that split the reps to get them through not only the rest of training camp and this summer, but more importantly, the 2 games that need to be played. 2 more games to be played. Here's the schedule for the week as tallied up by Jamison Hensley. 10:30 practice tomorrow. That will likely mean there'll be media during the show, so we'll be ready to react. Then they'll travel to Minnesota. Wednesday and Thursday are joint practices against the Vikings. Friday's a walkthrough. And a 1 o'clock kickoff, Saturday in Minnesota. Vikings-Ravens. Looking forward to it.
Bobby, does Rasheen Ali need to watch himself a little bit? Obviously, running back 3 is a special teams role. Randall had the touchdown Saturday night. Can he play special teams?
So, right now, and I should say last week, when he was injured still, he's been, like Jeff said, he missed about a week. He was listed, for what it's worth, as the primary starting kickoff returner. He and LeJonte Wester are right there. So that's not for nothing, right?
Yeah.
You're right about RB3. But if Adam Randall goes off over the next couple weeks, and I expect to get a ton of run, or him to get a ton of run, I don't know. I still think it'd be smart.
He's got to go off on special teams, though. You can't be running back 3 and not be a core special teamer. To your point, there's Rasheen Ali as the starting kickoff returner.
Correct.
So yeah.
He looks safe, but we don't know anything about this undisclosed injury that Jesse's not giving much on. So right now, I'd say safe, but then again, we need more information on the severity of the injury, and that's what's coming up this week as we get ready for the preseason, week number 2. The Flock Rundown did a good job here of showing just how dominating the Ravens were on Saturday night. Yes, it's preseason. Yes, Philly did not have a lot of its established starters, but guess what? Nor did Baltimore. They dominated in time of possession, dominated in total yards, dominated the defense did on third down, dominated in terms of first downs tallied up. It was a really clean performance, too, penalized just 3 times in the preseason, given how new everything is. I think that's impressive. Jonas tallied up personnel groupings. So Snoop had 14 plays the first quarter, 64.3% of the time. They ran 11 personnel. 35.7% of the time was 12 personnel. And not that studying up on the undrafted players is that important, but just to give a look at what he's been up to. Fignano ran 52 plays for him, played really well, aside from sort of projecting or telegraphing, I should say, that pass in the end zone that went for an interception. Guy jumped a route on him, and man, he was playing so well up until that point. But anyway, 51.9% of the time when Joe was under center, they were in 11 personnel. And Austin Reed played just 12 plays. What a story. We'll have more on him in just a second. 75% of the time they were shifting it around there. That was the fourth quarter, 21 personnel. So, and again, so this is really what you don't want to overreact to, because they're not tipping their hand. They're not showing anything in the preseason. It's going to be very vanilla, and that'll continue to be the case. Adam did reach the end zone, 46 yards on 12 carries, equated to 3.8 yards per tote for the rookie and Steve Bisciotti's handpicked selection. So he'll have more opportunities like we talked about in the next couple weeks. And Keon Martin, Sarah, had a sack, was flying around for him. That blitz, nice call there by Jesse and company. He told reporters after the game, quote, "We got the best receivers in the NFL." Keon was feeling himself. Heck of a quote there. And
hold on. Do we want to do a couple quick hits? I mean, super chats before we get to quick hits? Okay, let's do that.
Because I know you want to talk about Austin Reed.
Yeah.
Good stuff there. And how life can change quickly in the National Football League. Maybe some team will take a chance on him as their practice squad player at some point this year. We left off with Venom Wolf, who was booing me. And we picked things back up with Lauren Wunderlich. What's going on, Lauren?
Lauren says, it's been a minute. Hope you both are well. Ready for the season. LFG, baby. Glad you're here. Yeah, glad you're back, Lauren.
Look at the pickleball superstar in that profile photo.
I love pickleball. I'm not good at it, but I love it.
Get it, Lauren. For what it's worth, Jesse told reporters that the Ravens are likely going to be running with a very similar grouping for the next couple of days of preseason, meaning similar players will receive time.
The veterans, this joint practice is where veterans will get most of their reps, where you can protect them and not tackle and go up against the starters.
Remember who Jesse and his defense are going to be going up against while you were gone. They named
Brian Flores.
Yes. But they named Kyler Murray their starter. So he's going to be over J.J. McCarthy. He is their week 1 starter. That's been confirmed. And the Ravens will go up against him twice this week. At the Word Pimp is celebrating 10 months of channel membership and writes, welcome back, Sarah. NRG at the bank was peak for a preseason game. Fun to see Philly fans go glum when they couldn't even get a first down. The defense was intimidating. And again, they were 0 for 9. Philly's offense was 0 for 9 on third down. Jalen Hurts did not play. Venom Wolf, Sarah, for you.
Says Venga is pineapple on pizza. Nasty. Pineapple on pizza should be banned.
Yeah, that sounds horrific. Venom, well done. Anai says, you know what, Venga, he's seen enough. Venga is a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Lamar has a bodyguard now, and as Baldy said, there's a new bouncer in town, and you're ready to put him in Canton. Screw it.
People just always taking it up a notch. Just keep taking it up.
Afia missed you.
Afia, I missed you. She said, Sarah, your excited energy was missed. That's good. It's good. It's just good to be back, and it's good to be back with a lot of good news for sure. Yeah. So appreciate you, Afia.
Missed you.
Look at her with that Ravens jersey on.
Yeah,
is that
she's
Ravens?
Good.
Is that a Lamar one? Is that an 8?
For sure. I don't know if it's an 8 or not, but she's rocking it. And I agree with her. You were missed. Great to have you back in the fold. Freaking awesome.
As I yawn, my excited energy, and I just had an internal yawn there.
That's okay. I was called boring while you were gone, but that's neither here nor there.
Are you Bobby Boring now?
Pretty much. They were going with that. Yeah. Robert says, Bobby, don't be ashamed of being a New York Giants fan. It's all good. I grew up one, as I've talked about in the past.
Isn't that Jeff also? Didn't Jeff grow up a Giants fan?
Jeff's a Jersey guy, and being that the Giants are actually, they play in New Jersey.
Yeah. Asking for me. I'm pretty
you
sure
might be onto something. I think you are onto something there. Knicks, Giants. I don't know what his baseball team is, but yeah, I grew up, as I've talked about it in the past, I did grow up a Giants fan in Albany, New York. Anai says that Minter is at the podium, and we've given you some updates. Thanks for the heads up there, Anai, looking out for us as always. And that brings us to dreams.
He says if 77 doesn't make the team, we have to have a serious conversation, because this is the same play we dealt with for 2 years, and John would not sit him. That's the thing, is John kept him out as a starter here. I have to imagine he's going to keep him on the 53.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. C. King says Daniel Chick-fil-A is Harbaugh's secret kid. So Allison has a brother, huh? John is on Instagram now, by the way. John has officially launched his Instagram account.
Okay.
And I saw his post recently wishing Allison, his lone daughter, the happy birthday. Robert's here with us.
He says, I might be early, but I'm out on this loop, dude. Early? You might be late. He missed the kick that took away the Ravens and Lamar Jackson's comeback attempt after he was healthy into the playoffs. Did you see how Lamar was playing in that fourth quarter? He was balling.
Robert, that's funny, man.
Robert, you are not early, sir.
I actually aspire to Robert's maybe unbothered state. Maybe he's just not on social media. And so he thinks he's early.
Listen, not everybody's out. I don't even know. I just wanted competition. That's all I've asked for. I wasn't saying to cut the dude. I just wanted competition. Anyway, we didn't finish reading his super chat.
I'm sorry. And look, I don't want to, hide from what I've said all off season too. I'm still a believer, but the way that this has seemingly leaked into year 2 so far, even though he's had a solid training camp to date, aside from the Maryland Open practice, I wanted to say, hey, this is year 2. It's a new staff. He gets to continue to work with the guy that went and handpicked him and cast a wide net around the country. And hey, let's see if he can hone in on his inaccuracies from 50 or more last year. And let's see if he can finish and hone in on some of the technique issues that he was having with the landing zone penalties last year on kickoff. We don't know that yet. There were no landings. By the way, there was no kickoff issues for him on Saturday night. So let's just throw that out there. But obviously he's being paid to kick field goals accurately, consistently. And I'm a little bit surprised there's nobody else in house. Sorry, you can finish up Robert's chat here.
Well, just that he wanted to see competition to come in. I'm with you. Yeah.
And Dreams writes that Trenton Simpson's off. He wants Trent Sims off the edge. And he says, please, in prayer. It's what he did at Clemson. He did a little bit of everything at Clemson. Cliff Brown did a feature on him, BaltimoreRavens.com, this past offseason. Trenton said that he wants to rush. He wants to rush the passer.
Well, Minter just said at podium, we just read it, that Trent can play a lot of different positions. So maybe he'll get a chance.
And what no time like the present. Contract year. It might be Teddy's job in terms of weak side linebacker. Let's see if that's the case, let's see how they figure out to plug and play some of Trenton's God-gifted abilities. And he is versatile. One thing he is versatile. Is this Rave? This is Rave Kingdom. He says, I'm back. Rave in the building. Missed y'all. A lot happened. I'll explain later. Love y'all. Hashtag Ben Cleveland. Rave, hope you're good. Glad you're still using that hashtag.
Yeah.
Even though he was just released by the Chargers, was he not?
I want to know all the stuff that happened to him.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Welcome back, Rave. Hope you had a good offseason, brother. And hope you're doing well, actually. All seriousness. Manny is with us, Sarah, and he's been at it for the last 3 weeks.
Day 19 of asking Troy. Cross fingers it works. Is this the Troy Aikman one where he's trying to get Troy Aikman on the show?
Correct.
Sure. I'll take a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No doubt. And we'll just reiterate that, Manny, the last time, or when we put together our intro video.
Yeah.
What's that one little snippet of Mina? What does she say? She says, people are always telling me to go on this show. Manny, you were part of that.
Yes.
Queon says, Sarah, you need a cook. Dan O's stupid list.
Oh, I see. I saw that list. Wasn't it coming out on like Friday or something? Did you cover it already?
Last week, he went into traits, quarterback traits.
Yeah, but did
Top
you cover
10,
it?
We had a quick hit on it. Hey, it's training camp, baby. There was so much going on last week that I had to put that on the back burner. Shocking that I put that on the back burner.
All right.
But Orlovsky put together, he has Lamar as a top 8 quarterback, I think, in terms of traits.
Is this purely based off of 2025? Please tell me it's 2025 only.
Don't know.
It was just a quick hit. You didn't dig that deep. I'll find out. Look, Dreams, I got you.
Yeah.
Bobby's not into that kind of stuff.
Training camp, baby. You know I was rolling. I knew that as soon as that hit the timeline, though, I'm like, man, I'm not going to cover that. I said, she will next week, though, if she wants to. Everyday American Raptor. Oh, I've been waiting to say that. Everyday American Raptor says, I'm going to the game this Saturday. Oh, you're going to Minnesota. You're going to be in Minneapolis. If Vignano plays good again, he might be poached by the Vikings as they desperately need a quarterback. Let's go. What do you mean? They got Kyler as their starter and McCarthy as their backup.
Whenever you have 2 quarterbacks, it means you have no quarterback. But Vignano would just be added to that.
Hold on now.
What?
Kevin O'Connell. Are you ready for a prediction?
Oh, you'll give predictions for other teams? Sure.
Well, when I feel confident about things, I do like to predict. Kevin O'Connell and Kyler Murray are going to have a lot of success together this year in Minnesota. They're definitely a playoff team, I think. Okay. You watch. He's going to get a complete clean slate after years of inconsistency in Arizona, different coaches, different coordinators. You watch. I think you get it in a more structured system like Kevin O'Connell has proven to be one of the game's top young coaches. I think they're going to have a lot of success together. But maybe Everyday American Raptor says they need a practice squad quarterback, or he's saying they need a backup because he doesn't believe in J.J. McCarthy. I don't know what he's saying, but those are a couple of my theories. Kevin Carver's with us.
Kevin says, welcome back, Sarah, in all caps. Appreciate you, Kevin. Glad to be here. He said he's excited for the great Raven start, but I'm taking it week to week.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart, Kevin. Appreciate the super chat, man. Row Live is hitting us with some Canadian currency, and he writes, in case y'all forgot, according to Dan O, Lamar, this is what I was saying, 8th. Yeah. Lamar is 8th in second reaction ability. He's literally the best at extended plays ever. So maybe it was a 2025 ranking, maybe, and just because people are, still bent out of shape the way Lamar played last year, they don't tend to thoroughly look at the offensive line, the guard play, the injuries that Lamar was dealing with. Maybe it is. And if somebody could confirm that over the live chat, we'd appreciate it. A third super chat from Robert.
He says Dano is a fraud. It's just too bad, though, because I really do like Dan. Like, remember when he came on the show at the Super Bowl?
Love Dan.
I like him, and he's such a good dad and whatever. But, yeah, his analysis, he's just too pro Josh Allen. Like, there's something about it.
Here's the thing. When he gets himself into trouble with these rankings and stuff, you get him on one of those touch screens on ESPN.
Oh,
I'll watch him all day.
Yeah.
All day. The way that he breaks down plays, phenomenal. And I think he's a really good analyst. It will not surprise me if at some point ESPN takes him out of studio work, if he wants to, and he becomes like a full-time color analyst. I think he'd be really good at that.
Robert, though, doesn't think he would be good because he calls him a fraud. He says 6 of the top 7 players on this list are represented by his agency, CAA.
Kyle Brandt was getting ripped for that, too, because Josh Allen, I think, is a CAA player, and Kyle Brandt's like dapping him up and friends with him and posting different things. I saw that. Robert, thank you. Appreciate you guys for just an onslaught of super chats today. 61 of them, including gifts and memberships. You guys have shown up just like Austin Reed showed up to the fourth quarter, Sarah.
Bobby, I wasn't even here when this dude was signed, okay? I had no clue. This did not make it out to Africa to me. Austin Reed, signed last week?
Last week, he was with Chicago last year, meaning Declan knows him, and he spent this past spring in the UFL.
Okay, well, homeboy, as you can see in this picture, just had twin daughters recently. Listen to he runs in a touchdown, gets his rushing touchdown, wasn't with the Ravens, wasn't on an NFL team over a week ago. And he's like as shocked as anybody that he gets a rushing touchdown. Like, he's just celebrating, okay? He's living it up because he knows his NFL career is super short. So then listen to him on the sideline of TJ Tampa after he gets his rushing touchdown.
I can't, man. You told me Monday I would have been running a touchdown in a preseason game.
Reed flushed out left. Pep fakes. Now he'll take off and run. Reed into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Look at his smile.
Bro, I was on the way to a pediatrician appointment for my daughters when I got the call. Bro, you can't write it, bro.
Let his wife in. Let his wife in.
Watch out.
Hey, Reed.
I know it. You're clutch. Thank you.
Good for him, man.
He
was a member of the Dallas Renegades this past spring, and he played for 3 different schools, transferred twice in college, Sarah. He is 26 years old.
He's just playing with house money. He knows.
How about that? So
he's like, give me those babies. I want a picture, because who knows if this is ever going to happen again.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Southern Illinois is where his career began. He then transferred to West Florida, then transferred to Western Kentucky, was in school for darn near 5-6 years. Undrafted. Bears took a chance on him, spent some time there, spent some time in the UFL, and now he's going to get his chance probably over the next couple of weeks. Gosh, if Fignano keeps playing, though, everybody's going to be talking about Fignano and wanting to get him as a primary backup in this league if he continues to do what he did on Saturday night. But just overall, a solid clean game played aside from the Fignano red zone interception that he threw.
Yeah.
But a clean game by the quarterbacks, including Snoop, who got the first quarter.
He's going to be talking to his kids, his grandkids, his great-grandkids about this. He'll have this on loop. And
cool.
next time, let's get his wife and those 2 babies down on the field so she doesn't have to. Did you see?
Yeah.
See, you don't even appreciate this, Bobby, because you haven't had your kid yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always carried my babies in those front slings.
Yeah.
But for twins, she had to have 2 right there.
Yeah.
She's got to pack them back in there. Let's get her a pass down there on the field so she can have easier access. Something like
All
that.
right.
Something like that.
Hopefully they can make
Let's
that
hook
happen.
her up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Week 3 is a Commanders game, last preseason game.
Let's hook her
Hopefully,
up.
hopefully he'll still be part of the organization by then. You never know.
Yeah.
And by the way, how cool is it that in the same room he can chat with Snoop about being a fellow father to twins? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Von Miller is going to the Dallas Cowboys. He's a Texas native, and he's going to you. You are right around the corner in the Dallas area these days, having just moved from Columbus. Maybe they'll get a chance to watch the Cowboys one game this upcoming season. 8-time Pro Bowl linebacker, former Super Bowl MVP, is heading to the Dallas Cowboys.
Homeboy is still going.
A future Hall of Famer, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Vikings, the Ravens will not have to deal with in the joint practice veteran safety Jamal Adams. He will miss the season, with a knee injury. You know, this guy has somehow continued to extend his NFL career, get opportunities around the league. Unfortunately, he will not be able to play in the regular season this year after a knee injury.
That's too bad.
So that's that.
That's
Chris
what
Brown and
that's what I
Usher.
feared for, by the way, Nate Wiggins.
Yeah, and the fact that he's back already.
Well, and
Again.
the fact that, like he said earlier this season, he hasn't played 100% since high school because of the groin, and he
Correct.
did the off-season procedure. I was
Yep.
like, look at him, and then I was like, when I first saw that he got carted off, I was like, man, he just got healthy.
100%.
Bullet
100%.
dodged.
Couldn't believe it. Chris Brown and Usher, in other news, are coming to the bank October
What?
17th. These two are going on tour, I guess. Saturday, October 17th at the bank.
How old is Usher now? Hold on.
Got me.
How old is Usher?
Usher is 47 years old.
Yeah, he's like a year older than me.
What a
He's
beast.
been around.
What a beast. Raymond and BrownTour.com is where you can get on the pre-sale. Bank's been busy, man. They had Morgan Wallen earlier this summer. These two are now getting together. Elle Langley was at that, was warming up, or what do they call it? Not warming up. She's much more than that. She's a star. She's like the biggest star in country music right now. What do they call it, I guess? Ella's role in the Morgan Wallen tour. I don't know, but those two have been touring together all summer. And our friend of the program, Tom Pelissero, as you would expect, landed on his feet. He's going from NFL Network to Netflix Game Day. That's right, Netflix Game Day. That's a sign of the times. He's going to be a sideline reporter, an NFL insider for a bunch of games this year. And how about that? He's going to go to Australia for week 1, 49ers and Rams. He'll co-host the Ringer NFL show, contribute across the Ringer's NFL podcasting platforms, and a weekly appearance on the Bill Simmons podcast. So a lot of changes coming to NFL coverage with mergers, acquisitions, Netflix diving in as they have with, as you know, the streaming presence that they've had. Well, congratulations to Tom. He's a great guy. We've enjoyed interacting with him over the years.
Yeah, good for him. Very happy for him. I think I got one more quick hit in video for him.
And I think we're fully caught up on Super Chat. So give it to us.
Okay. Well, Lamar Jackson saying Lamar Jackson things when asked about MVP.
It was a cool note that first time or first season with a new OC, MVP, MVP. Should we expect a third here in year 1 with Declan?
You know, that's not the goal. You know, that's just, it happened, you know, but hopefully it's something better than just MVP.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Lamar's always been that way.
Yep.
I'm not going to be that way. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, no.
Yes. You and the listeners, I will be pushing MVP. If he's playing like MVP, you won't hear the end of it from me. Because two things can happen at once. You can win the MVP and you can win a Super Bowl MVP. And I want both, and I'm going to be greedy. I'm not going to stop, Bobby.
And I'm not
Daily.
I'm not going to get in the way of you.
I want it all.
But just know your favorite player in this league, as he said from day one, doesn't care.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't care.
He has priorities. Obviously, it's Super Bowl and then individual accolades. But you can't tell me that when it comes time to hang it up, and he could say he's a 3-time MVP instead of a 2-time MVP, and it puts him, and then he has a Super Bowl MVP to do with it. Yeah, thank you, Super Chat, the chat, hat trick MVP and a Super Bowl MVP. You don't think that's going to put him up there with the greatest of all greats? Of course, right now he's saying, yes, my priority is a Super Bowl. That's what you're supposed to say. But come on, of course he would love to have another MVP. Come on. To sit there and say he doesn't care. Look at Evan, our guy, friend of the show. I'm so happy for Evan. I love all of his success.
You're on one today.
I speak the truth.
Just like quickly like transitioning from topic to topic, comment to comment, just letting it rip. Oh, there he is. I love Evan too. The best of the best. He does sideline reporting for Ravens Productions on the local stuff for the next couple weeks, and then he'll go full-time CBS as always. He's worked several Super Bowls. He's the man. So
yeah,
best wishes to him. Great interview there in game from Lamar and company. And what a start. What a welcome back. 2 full hours. 2 full hours. Appreciate you guys for welcoming Sarah back. Appreciate all the super chats, the donations, the gifts, the memberships. It's been awesome. So
do you want an Africa story?
Yeah.
Wait. Did my pictures make it into the slides? Let's pull it back in real quick. I just got 2 pictures and I'm going to show you a video. Okay.
You know what? I think you may have updated them late. Hold on
okay.
a second here.
It's okay. You know, the video is more important, which I have. Okay. So we went to Rwanda and Kenya. So we go to Kigali in Rwanda, and it's kind of like the start of the trip. And our guide sets up a gorilla trek. I'm all for this gorilla trek. I'm all for it. What'd you say?
I'm getting your photo because I want to see it.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so on the left is me and my husband and my boys going on the gorilla trek. Our girls were not allowed to go because you had to be 14 or older.
Yeah.
Knowing what happened on this gorilla trek, I'm so glad that my girls weren't there. They would have been freaked out. Okay. So I'm going to just I keep my Instagram private. So I put up this video of the gorilla trek. I'll play it for you here real quick so you can see how close. Okay. This type of stuff would never pass in the United States of America, where they just let you get this close to gorillas. So it was mostly cool, but I want to see if you guys catch something in this very quick video playing right now. You may have seen, let me turn up the music. I mean, we are like feet away from the gorillas and sometimes making contact. Okay. Now, before we go up there, our guide kind of warns us, well, okay, there's something like 27 to 30 different gorilla families that live on the side of this volcano. I also didn't realize this was going to be an 8-mile hike. Okay. Because you just got to go up and you got to find your family, and like your gorilla, your like guide takes you to your family. Well, my brother and his family were there too, and we got split up into 2 different groups. They go to like apparently a gorilla family that was chill. I got a gorilla family whose name I can't say. I don't remember how it said, but it's translated into like the warriors. Like they're the warrior family. They were rambunctious. So they don't tell you this until we're like close to finding the gorilla family. And the guide is like, just so you know, This family has like 2 basically teenage boys. And I'm like, oh, great. Because I have 2 teenage boys and they're cause trouble all the time. Okay. They think they're being funny or whatever. Anyway, one of them is called, they nicknamed him the troublemaker. And I'm like, haha, this will be fun. Like, I'm not thinking it's going to be anything, whatever. So anyway, we get up there and we find this gorilla family. And I'm thinking that we're going to kind of keep our distance. Like, we'll watch, but we'll keep our distance. No, these guides take you right up. Did you just see that?
I'm going to keep running it back.
Just
Look
keep
at this.
running that one part. So anyway, we're close to them. And like, before I know it, I'm feeling uncomfortably close. Because I'm like, what if they just get angry or annoyed by us or whatever? Okay. And so like, at one point we're getting super close. And then out of nowhere, like more just keeps showing up. So one comes out of the brush right behind us. And we're looking at one with like their child. And we're taking pictures of that one. All of a sudden one comes. And homeboy pushes my husband down from behind. My husband falls to the ground, okay? Like, and falls into my knees. And I'm like, what? I'm like, is this normal? So then, like, I get up behind my guide and I'm like checking on my husband. And then, like, the guide is like, oh, don't worry. Like, he's just playing or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm still, like, not super nervous, but, like, that was weird that he just straight up, my husband's like a big dude. Like, it's like he's not like this thin little thing. Like, he just pushed like, he's a 600-pound gorilla, okay? So, like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was just because my husband was in the way of, like, food he wanted, because he was kind of, like, walking through him to go get food. But then out of nowhere, we're, like, filming. I'm like, and this gorilla's playing with its baby, and out of nowhere, my son, by the way, Gardner all the way to the left, he's like feeling sick that day. He must have eaten something bad or whatever. So he kind of is off to the side sitting down because he's trying to like recover from whatever stomach thing he's got going on. Out of nowhere, the gorilla decides to go charge him. And like the guide quickly, before he got to Gardner, a guide got in between my son and the gorilla. And so now I'm like, okay, this is twice now. Okay. I'm not feeling really good. So that video you just saw, I played it way too quick. And that video you saw the troublemaker, which is like this adolescent. He out of nowhere starts running super fast next to us. And homeboy pulls a Mike Tomlin on me. Okay. He sticks his leg out as he's running by, kicks me in my shin. I'm behind this other guy. This is my son's video. I'm behind another guy who's like from France. Okay. And this gorilla just straight up goes out of his way to kick me. And I'm like, what is going on? At this point, Bobby, I'm done. I was like, I've seen the gorillas. I look at these shots I got. This is from my iPhone. Like, that's how close we are. I am right next to these gorillas. And I'm like to the guide, and I'm like, because they're like, you can only stay with them for an hour. I was done at the 40-minute mark. They had been targeting my family. Like, there were other people in the group. They weren't messing with other people in the group. It was just me and my boys and my husband that they're coming after. Okay. Like, he was like, and the guide kept trying to be like, well, this is normal. They're just playing with us. And I'm like, I get that, but I don't want to be a gorilla's toy. I didn't know that this is what it was going to be like. I thought we were going to keep our distance. And I feel like they're getting annoyed from us. And you guys don't seem to be taking the hint. I'm taking the hint. There's another time the gorilla went out of his way, like he was following his family. And I like purposely went in a different direction away from his family. And he still followed me. I was like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I find out later, I go and find out from my brother and the gorilla family he went. He's like, we had nothing like that. Like nothing. So I would do it again, but I would not do it with the warrior family. No. I was done. Bobby, to be that close, you've been to see gorillas at the zoo, right? And there's that glass, and you're still like to sit in front of them and look them in the eye. It's like we have debates. Like, could 100 men beat one gorilla? Like, that's what's going through my mind, is he's pushing my husband down, and he's like kicking me like Mike Tomlin, trying to trip me.
Mike Tomlin. No, that's one of those things where it's like, maybe we've all either been in or heard of situation where the guides can actually, because it's their day to day and they're so they're so comforted by what they do every single day that it's normal to them, that they almost find it entertaining and funny, right? To keep it like super, super loose and informal, to see Americans or out-of-towners like yourselves kind of be like, wait, what's going on here? And get into freak out mode. Like that kind of like in a strange way gives them entertainment, like you don't want to be on either end of their entertainment out there, whether it's the gorillas or the guides.
No, I guarantee they were getting a kick out of it. Guarantee it. Okay.
Look at you and your girls. Look at you and your girls. Look at you and your boys. Beautiful family.
I love them all.
I've had a chance to get to know everybody. Your boys are just shooting through the roof.
Oh, look at, well, we're on a, just to be fair, we're on a slant. Trevor's the tallest, but the boys were like fighting over who got the top of the slant, so they would look the tallest. Trevor's like, okay, I'll go to the bottom. But Gardner's about to catch Trevor. Trevor's 6 foot. Gardner's like maybe a half an inch under him. Aiden has now caught me. In this picture, it looks like he's taller, but he's got me.
These guys.
It's bananas. And the thing is they are like these gorillas. They're these teenage boys and they're realizing their power. So they like to mess with me all the time. And I'll fight back. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm getting too old for this. Okay. But anyway, just one last thing. We like leave Rwanda and we moved over to Kenya and we had so many amazing safaris. That wasn't scary. Like I was really close to lions also. But for whatever reasons, the lions just view the whole safari vehicle as, I don't know, an animal itself. So they literally just look through us. So on the safari itself, never once was I feeling like, oh, I'm scared of this. You know what I mean? Hold on, where's that video? I thought I had it here.
Muddy Palm says off topic, but we need to sign Jake Moody.
Wait, who?
Just slightly off topic. Muddy Palm says off topic, but we need to sign kicker Jake Moody, who was just released.
Oh. I don't know. Anybody that's released makes me nervous. Anyway, here's the Masai Mara. It's unreal how close we were getting to lions and everything else. This was insane. Do we need to mute this music for copyright?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So there's,
sure.
sorry. Okay. It's muted. Anyway, like the mom and her cubs up top. I was in love with the warthogs. I don't know what happened. These are pictures I'm taking like with my iPhone. It's crazy.
Incredible.
Just the sunsets on the Masai Mara and like the Maasai people, like you could tell like sometimes like when you'd fly in, like it was like the Maasai, some of the people that weren't even really in the Maasai tradition were still playing that up to make us feel like it was authentic. You know how sometimes you go to Jamaica and they say, Amon, like over and over and over again. You're like, okay, this is just a gimmick. But we went deep like into Chayula Hills. The Maasai people were amazing. Like they were like living that life and they did like dances for us. They would get us to try to like come and be a part of it. I mean, it just was like, oh, like all these small charter flights. This right here was massive. Like my husband hates heights. Like it's like one of those fears. But he overcame them and he went on these small charter flights. And at one point they let him fly kind of like when we were already up in the air. Got a little bumpy there. I'm not going to lie. When he first took over, it got a little bumpy, but he found his way. But like to be that close, Bobby, my kids got quite the education on lions reproducing because I did not know we were coming up on this. I did not know this. Did you know this? Lions, when they mate, one male and one female will separate for 7 days. They mate every 15 to 20 minutes for 7 days. And when I found, I didn't put it in the video because I was like, I didn't want anybody to have to see it. Or like unexpectedly, like if you're just going along on Instagram, looking at pictures of families and all of a sudden 2 lions are like going at it. But like, it is insane. It is every like 20 minutes. Like it's insane to watch it. And my kids are like, especially my young girls, were just like getting quite the education. And those 2 lions looked exhausted. Like it looked like we had come up on them on like day 6 of this 7-day mating experience. Like it was like, it's just insane that you're like on the other side of the world in another continent. And like you are right there, whether it's gorillas or lions or zebra or giraffes or leopards and like they had to like escort you every night when you went to your tent. You went to your tent because it was like legit, like it was glamping probably. But like you hear lions at night, you hear things being eaten at night, you hear things running. Like there was a leopard that kept going through our camp, and we'd have like guides and security that were up all night because we're like in the thick of it. It's just like, what is this like? How is this my life right now? Like it was just an adventure of a lifetime, and I can't believe that I got to do it. I feel so lucky and blessed.
You captured it really well. I mean, there's just so much scenery, so much wildlife. You guys covered serious ground. You were up in the air. This is just feels like it's something that if you enjoy that part of life or just have a level of curiosity that you got to put it on your bucket list. I know it's on mine. I've been to Africa twice, but not to that part.
Eastern Africa, it's different, right? Like I've been to Northern Africa, but the safaris are just different.
I was going to say, I've been to what feels like urban city-like Africa. You know, Cairo, Egypt is not exactly a safari. You know, Tangier, Morocco, not exactly a safari, but this was awesome. And yet another opportunity for your kids to see the globe, the world. You shared this with us over the years. And happy belated birthday to Trevor, too.
Yeah, 50.
Happy belated 50th. That's what this was about, you guys, right?
That's right. We also celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary while we were there.
Not bad to throw that in there, too.
Well, 19. We got to figure out what we want to do for 20, though. How do you outdo Africa?
Well, you're going to have to figure out how to one-up yourself. And welcome back to, well, not even a welcome back, but the kids start school today. So that's a big change.
They missed the first 3 days of school, but I was like, I don't care. They're probably getting a better education out here than sitting in a desk getting an orientation for the first 3 days.
Yeah, and a lot of change for them, though. You know, different school district, new system, new everything. So hope they're doing well today. And I think that'll just about do it for us. This felt like a summer 2025 episode here, coming up on 2.5 hours. Glad you got a chance to share everything. And obviously, we were going to go long regardless because everybody came in droves coming off that first preseason game and the fact that Jacoby Lane's the talk of the town. And we got a lot more to get to this week, including joint practices. And hopefully you guys enjoyed 2+ hours worth of content to kickstart the week. So thanks to all of you. We'll be back tomorrow and plenty more coming up over the course of the next few days. Week 4 of training camp underway. Preseason game number 2 on Saturday in Minnesota. And then the following week will be Ravens Commanders in Baltimore prior to them having their roster trim down day. And week 1, September 13th in Indianapolis. For Sarah, I'm Bobby. Welcome back, partner. Great to have you with us. And we'll be back catching up with you guys at 12 noon Eastern tomorrow. That's Tuesday, right here inside the vault.